Hi guys, for today's video I wanted to make a sort of simple Halloween tutorial on how to do like a fairy sort of makeup look. It's going to be pretty simple, I hope. I just thought it would be good to do something nice and easy for you to follow along if you wanted to give something different a go, even if you don't celebrate Halloween, or if you just, wanted to dress up, even though if you live in Melbourne like I do, you're still in lockdown, you can't actually have a party or anything like that. I just thought it would be fun. With that all being said, I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna pop on some cream blush, and I'm gonna use the Flower Beauty Blush Bomb in the shade Bubbly. I'm just gonna squeeze that onto the back of my hand, and then with a brush, just dab it on like so and pop it on my face. You might actually be able to tell, I forgot to say before, sorry, I've already popped on my foundation, concealer and brows. I haven't popped powder on yet, just because with cream and liquid blushes and like creamier or liquidier sort of products, usually they recommend that you pop them on before you pop on powder, because it can just stuff up the way it goes on. Like it won't go on as smoothly and it won't blend as well if the powder's already in, and it can like pull away the actual product that's already on your face as well, so like ruin the look of your makeup. There you go. I really like this colour. I also wanted to use a more purpley colour because I wanted to go for almost like I'm going for like a purple look, but I'm gonna use some green I think, but I wanted it to be like almost like a monochrome, like, or like, at least like similar like purpley cool shades. At least that's what I have planned to do. We'll see what actually happens today. I'm just gonna do powder now. I'm just gonna take this brush and go into my Flower Beauty Satin finishing powder. Today is not my day apparently, because I was just tapping out my powder and the whole sifter fell into the lid. That's gonna be fun. I'm just gonna... Oh, there we go. Okay. It kind of went in sort of easily. I made a little bit of a mess on my hand. Don't tap this. Don't tap it. So now that we have way too much powder everywhere, and we have made a massive mess, let's put powder on, shall we? I'm just gonna get off the excess powder from around the edges and out of my towel. The good thing about using powder after the cream products as well is if you go down slightly too low like I did with my blush, you can sort of push it back up a little bit. Like you can kind of cover the edges so it like blends it back in to your foundation and doesn't look as pink. There we go. Let's leave it at that, shall we? So the next product I'm going to use now is bronzer, and I'm going to use the Wet n Wild bronzer in the shade Princess that I got recently in my Lumi box. Instead of using the brush that it comes with, because I cannot use this, it gives me a massive streak and I find it really difficult to blend it out with this. I'm just going to use this Fairy One blush, which is in the theme with my makeup today. So I'm just going to pop this in here like so and carve out my cheekbones, but really blend it out as well. And there we have that. I picked that bronzer today just because it has a slight like sparkle in it, and I wanted a glowy look for this fairy look. I want it to be very glittery, very like girly and fun. So the next product I'm going to use is highlighter, and I'm going to use another Fairy One brush, very exciting. I'm going to use my ColourPop Big Tough Girl highlighter because this is purple. I'm just going to take my Fairy One brush and go in here. Go a bit mad with it, I think. I'm going to really glow today. Like, be the glitter. Be the fairy. Usually if I were using a coloured highlighter, I wouldn't put it on my brow bones, but because I want it to kind of be magical, I'm just going with it today. Kind of going crazy. But that's all good here. We can go crazy. We can always turn it back down. I'm going to do it down the middle of my face as well, which I have never done before with this highlighter, but it's not every day you get to be a fairy, so we might as well go crazy when we get the chance. I love that. It's so glowy, it's so nice. So purple. Okay, and I am going to chuck on more blush, believe it or not. I'm going to chuck on my Flower Beauty Flower Pots powder blush in the shade Wildrose, just because this is kind of like a fuchsia purpley pink, and I want like oomph, I think. Fairy oomph, and that way it will mix in with my highlighter really well as well, and it'll stand out and stick better because of the cream blush. I'm going to pop it across my nose as well for that like sunburnt look that people are going for, but also I feel like it would be really cutesy for like a fairy with like blush on their nose. It looks very youthful. We're going mad today, so if I go a bit too far, I apologize. You guys, if you want to replicate this look, you do not have to go as crazy as I am. I just feel like really having fun with it today. These brushes, these Flower Beauty brushes as well, are absolutely amazing. They're some of my favorite blushes, and I always buy them on sale, so it's like $6 or like $5, you know. So cheap, so affordable. Are we looking a little bit sunburnt? A little bit like a fairy, I hope. Maybe not quite yet. I just look like a crazy person with purple highlighter all over my face. And now that we have done all this, I need to move on to the eyes. For this look, I probably should have done my eyes first, to be honest with you, but I didn't think about that until now. So we're sticking with this. Today I'm going to mainly use my ColourPop So Jaded palette to get this look, just because it has quite a few shades that I think will be handy. For instance, I want to use this beautiful emerald green, this purple. I think I'll end up using the main shades that I wanted to use, to be honest with you, and I'll just see what else I go into. I will do it and let you know. We're really improvising today, as we do every other day, so hopefully it turns out okay. Anyway, so I'm going to take the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush and pop into the shade Rose Quartz. Just this like mid-tone coolish brown shade, and this is going to be my crease shade, and I'm going to pop this all over my lid as well, really. And now I'm going to take a slightly smaller fluffy brush and go into the shade Amethyst, just this purpley mauvey glitter shade, and run this through my crease as well. I'm going to take it over my lid. I'm just going to really go all over where I just went over with the other shade. Okay, so with that shade, I didn't run it along my lower lash line purely because I am not quite sure what I want to do with that yet, but I don't think that I want purple on my lower lash line. So I'm leaving it to like this for now, but I actually really like this colour. It's absolutely beautiful, and when you put it on with a fluffy brush rather than a flat shaded brush, you don't really get many glitters, but it's like a stunning crease colour, really. Anyway, so next I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to take an even smaller brush and go into this darker shade here, Alexandrite, and just pop this in my outer corners and blend it slightly up into my crease. So next I'm just going to go into the shade Amethyst with a flat shaded brush and pop this over my lid like so. I've actually gotten a bit of fallout from this one as well, but I think if you were to wet your brush once you'd gone into the shade, if you were like me and decided to do your eyes after you do your foundation, then you should definitely just wet your brush after you go into the shade, and then less of it will fall off as you're popping it on. Okay, and now I'm just going to reblend in the Alexandrite shade and the Ametrine shade, and I will be back. So there we have that. And now I'm going to go in with a sort of thin pencil brush and just pop into the shade Jade and just run this along my lower lash line all the way across, just to get a green base down there. With the same pencil brush, I'm going to pop into the shade Turquoise and do exactly the same that I did with Emerald, just all across my lower lash line. And then with a small pencil brush, this one's straight, I'm just running out of brushes to be honest with you, I'm going to go into the shade Emerald and very carefully dab this along the outer corner of my lower lash line. You know what? I'm going to go all the way with that. This one has decent amount of fallout too, so remember, wet your shadows, wet them, because you will get green stripes under your eyes like me. Okay, so I'm very glittery, as you can tell. So to prevent any further fallout, I am going to be using my Fix Plus, and I'm gonna spray my brush with the green on it, because what I want to do with this now is to create sort of like a green liner just like up from my lower lash line, just coming up here like so. Something a bit different. I just thought it would be interesting to see. This could look crazy. It probably will look crazy, to be honest with you, but it's gonna be fun. That was definitely a bit of a struggle. They're definitely not even, but I think this is as good as I'm gonna get it. I do like the look. I had to stuff around with this one a fair bit because I completely stuffed it up, so I was like erasing it and like erasing parts of it, putting it back in, so it may not be as easy as I thought it originally was. I recommend, if you want it to be super simple, do not decide to do wings unless you're really good at them, like better than I am, or it's not hard to be better than I am. Unless you're like super confident with drawing the wings, I would recommend not doing it, or do your eyeshadow first and then just kind of draw it as best as you can and then neaten it up after with like a makeup wipe or some micellar water or something like that, so you can just get rid of it and get it into like a really straight line. That is definitely the better way to do this look. If you do replicate this look and you're not doing it while I'm doing my makeup, I would definitely recommend to do it eyeshadow first and then foundation. You'd think I'd remember that by now. Okay, so now that I've done that, I am going to highlight my inner corners just with a flat shaded brush. I'm going to go in with the shade Fluorite and Aquamarine. So these two, I'm just kind of mixing them together and just going to pop these in my inner corners. Just something a bit bright and colourful. And then on top of that, I'm going to use my finger and dab some diamond just to make it more glittery. And I'm also going to take diamond and just slightly bring it on to my lid. Not all the way, just a little bit up. So you get some more glitters. I'm going to leave it at that for eyes, or for the eyeshadow look. So for eyeliner, I would have loved to go on with my purple Marc Jacobs fine liner, but I do not have it with me. I have no idea where it's gone because I don't think I've taken it anywhere. I'm worried that I've thrown it out or something, because that's the only thing that I can think I accidentally might have done. But anyway, I'm gonna go in with the ColourPop Crème Gel Liner in the shade DTLA. So this is like a really dark navy blue. I probably would have liked to do purple on the top and green on the bottom, but I actually don't have green eyeliner and I can't find my purple one, so I'm just gonna chuck on this blue one because it sort of kind of will work together, because blue works with both purple and green, so hopefully it doesn't look too bad. Okay, so there we have that. I'm just gonna go in with a normal black mascara because I actually only have black mascaras, so I'll quickly curl my lashes and pop on my Flower Beauty Zoom In Ultimate Mascara. You can change the shape of the brush to change the application of the mascara, which is then supposed to change like what the mascara does. So it can lengthen, volumize, or what is the last one? Lengthen, volumize, and define. I'm going to put it on the middle one because that's lengthen, and I want my eyelashes to look quite long with this look anyway. So I'm going to do that now. Why do I always do this to myself? I'm gonna fix it. I remembered as I was putting my mascara on what it does. It lengthens, curls, and volumizes. So the first head is lengthen, the second head is curls, and the third head is volumizes. So for this, I just did one coat with lengthens on the top and bottom, and then I did my second coat in curls. Anyway. Just in case you wanted to know how I got my eyelashes, which they look okay. I probably should use like falsies, to be honest with you, but I'm not the best at applying them, and it's really late at night, so I don't really want to put them on because it'd be like wasting them. So I'm gonna leave it with this, and also I've struggled so much already to get this look, so I really don't want to struggle with putting false lashes on for an hour or so. But I think it actually looks really good so far, despite the fact that I just, you know, nearly scratched on my face trying to remove that mascara. But anyway, I wanted to complete my fairy look to have some like little flowers on my face. So to do that, I'm going to use liquid shadows, and I'm just going to use from Haus Laboratories, the Glam liquid shadows. This one's in the shade Rose Bitch, and I'm also going to use my Stilla Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadow in the shade Kitten. I'm going to pop these on the back of my hand like this. So like if I was a painter and this was my little thing that I take the paint off with my paintbrush. So I've got Kitten and Rose Bitch, and I'm going to take these tiny little detail brushes. So this one's going to be for my flower circles, like the center, and I'm not sure what that's called, and this one's going to be for the petals, but it's just going to be very small little things is what I want on my face. I'm going to zoom you in just so you can see a bit. That's as far as you can zoom, sorry. I'm going to try and pop these just here.
Skin deep, expensive friends, no flaws and no emotion. We pose for every trend.
It's pretty light, but it looks kind of cute, don't you think? Sort of like how I would draw a flower in a textbook. So it's simple. You may be able to draw more amazing flowers than I can, but this is the flower that I am gonna pop on my face today. I think I'm gonna do just a few down my cheek.
Perfect moments. Why work on what's inside when you can hide behind?
So there we go. And my final one for this side.
We die chasing our own reflection, and we're always down.
There you go. Now that last one is the biggest one, and really I probably would have wanted it to be the smallest one considering it's the closest one to the center of my face. I'm just going to fix up the center circle there. Okay, and now I'm going to do this side off camera because I'm going to try and mirror this side, and I'll be back. It'll probably take me a bit longer too. So there we have that. I decided to add another one on top of my eyebrow. This one's much worse. Thank God I have a fringe. But that is sort of what we're going for, and you can tell this side is definitely not as good as this side, so this is my good side. So now I'm going to chuck on my Flower Beauty Seal the Deal Luminizing Setting Spray, because this one is super dewy and it gives me like a beautiful glow, which I really want because I want to be glittery and sparkly. So let's pop this on.
And we'll never go out of style, and we'll never say we're sorry.
See what I mean about that glow? It's amazing. I've also just decided I'm going to pop into this shade here, Opal. It's just a loose glitter, and I'm just going to kind of dab it around my flowers, just really gently, so I have some glitter there, just a little bit of sparkle, sort of like a glitter highlight. Okay, so next and finally is lips. I know what you're thinking. Thank God. That's what I'm thinking. For lips, I'm just going to take my Dose of Colours Delight lip liner and line and fill in my lips. So after I line my lips, I chucked on some of my Haus Laboratories Glam eyeshadow and popped it on my lips. I just did a little bit and then blended it with, the wrong brush, the brush that I used. I wanted like more of it like toned in, so it was more purpley. I might even chuck a little bit more on, to be honest with you, just to get it a bit crazy. There you go. And that is going to complete this insanely simple look that I thought was going to be simple. So, okay, this became very complicated. This is what happens when you improvise. Don't improvise like me. But, I mean, it looks good. I really like it. I think it looks really interesting. And I'll definitely do it again. I think I would recommend as well practicing your flowers, maybe on the back of your hand, just so that they look a bit neater and less like a 5-year-old's drawn on your face. But anyway, we're done. I hope you guys have enjoyed this adventure with me as much as I have. I did have a lot of technical issues with my phone. It keeps deleting things. I think I've used it too much for things that it should not be used for. I mean, recording, not porn. That sounds like I'm watching porn. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching this adventure with me. It has been a long time coming, but we are finally at the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed struggling through this. It's actually been a bit of fun, even though a lot of stuff went wrong along the way. If you have any questions about anything I did or any of the products I used, let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and hopefully I will see you soon. It's gonna be already done my blush first. Quite right, like it doesn't use. So the best order when using liquid or cream, well, the best order when using a product cream. I just wanted to make a short of blush bomb in the shade. I haven't popped. Take my fairy wand brush. Might as well go crease. Deluxe crease brush. And now I'm gonna take a slightly smaller fluffy brush. Ow. Okay. Oop. Gonna go in with a hair. Oh, it is the Flower Beauty.